In the last class, I have explained the triangle law of vector addition, how the magnitude of a vector can be determined by using triangle law and how its direction can be determined. And on the basis of the result obtained, I have discussed some of the numerical which can easily explain the vector addition. We can find the angle by using the result. We can find the direction of the vector and the resultant as well. Now today I am going to discuss the resolution of vector. What do we mean by the resolution of vector? It is the process of splitting a vector into two or more vectors such that they produces the same effect as the given vector produces. And the component in which the vector is splitted is R, known as component of vector. How you can understand this? Suppose one vector is like this and another vector is these two vectors A and B. These are free vectors. Now how you can resolve them? Draw the same vector here. This is lambda times A and this lambda is 1 here or maybe other value, and similarly they keep the same angle between them, the vector B. This vector is suppose mu times the vector B. This is the another vector, and here the resultant vector R. This resultant vector R is now lambda into A plus mu into B. Here lambda A and mu B are the component vectors. Note it down. And now I will discuss the component vectors in detail. The component of vectors are known as rectangular component. I have discussed this earlier also in the chapter laws of motion. So I am repeating again the rectangular component. Suppose these two vectors, vector A and vector B, are perpendicular to each other and represented by the two adjacent sides of a parallelogram, then their resultant is given by the diagonal of the parallelogram, and this is R. Now if these vectors A and B are not given to you, only the resultant is given, then how you will resolve this vector R along the x-axis and along the y-axis? The components along the x-axis and y-axis are known as the rectangular component. So let us understand this topic in the detail. Suppose the vector A is lying in the plane like this, in the xy plane. So draw the x-axis first, then the y-axis. Then draw this is suppose vector A, draw a perpendicular from this point on the x-axis. This length will have the value here, suppose this is P and this is P dash. This OP dash is AX. So what is AX? AX is value of A, vector A along x-axis. Draw the perpendicular here on y-axis also. Suppose this is P dash and this value is AY. Here AY is what? This is the value of vector A along y-axis. Now the question is, what are the directions along x-axis and y-axis? So take the unit vector I cap along the x-axis and the vector j cap along the y-axis. So with direction, the value along x-axis become AX into I plus the value along y-axis is given as AY into j cap, and this vector A is written as AXI plus AYJ, where AX and AY are the rectangular component. Rectangular components along x and y axis respectively. Now the question, what is the magnitude of this A? So find the modulus. This is equal to A. This is the sum of value along x-axis plus the sum of square of value on the y-axis and under the root. So in this way you can find the magnitude and direction of this vector A and its component along x-axis and y-axis. If the total value or the x component is given, you can find the y component. If y component and vector A is given, you can find the x component. If these two components are given, you can find the vector. In this way you can solve the rectangular component, and in terms of theta you can also determine this. So first note it down. Now in terms of theta, how you will calculate the rectangular component? Vector A along x-axis, the value L4 along y-axis, draw the perpendicular. This is AX, this is vector A, and this is AY. If this is AY, this value should be AY, and if this vector A is inclined at an angle theta, then what will be angle value AY? This perpendicular divided by hypotenuse. Suppose this is P. OP is equal to what? Perpendicular by hypotenuse is sin theta. So this AY is equal to OP sin theta. What is OP here? OP is vector A into sin theta. So this is the value of the rectangular component along y-axis. For x-axis, OP dash divided by OP is equal to what? Base by hypotenuse is cos theta. So OP dash is equal to OP cos theta, and OP dash is equal to AX cos theta. So this vector OP dash is, this is AX and this is A. or you can write it as in magnitude form. AY is equal to A sin theta and AX is equal to A cos theta. So these are the rectangular components along x-axis and along y-axis. Note down. This y component is known as vertical component and this cos theta component is known as horizontal component. Now do one numerical on the basis of rectangular component of vectors. Write down the statement first. What is the question? A force is inclined at 60 degree to the horizontal. So this is the force which is inclined at an angle of 60 degree with the horizontal. This is the force F. This is Fx component. Fx rectangular component along x-axis is 50 Newton. It means Fx is given to you. This is 50 Newton. Find the magnitude of force. This F you have to find, and the vertical component Fy you have to find. So write first of all, write what is given to you. This is Fy. Formula is Fx is equal to F cos theta and F is equal to Fx divided by cos 60. Fx is 50 Newton and value of cos 60 is 1 by 2. This is 50 into 2, that is 100 Newton. And what is Fy? Fy is F sin theta. Put the value here. Fy is equal to F is 100 Newton, that is sin theta. 100 sin 60 degree. What is the value of sin 60 degree? This is root 3 by 2. So Fy comes out to be 50 root 3 Newton. So these are the values. In this way you can solve the numerical. Note it down in your notebook.